never expected. The disguise mask he tried so hard to buy would end up being misunderstood as the strongest artifact in the world. Even a fragile noble girl would instantly become a fighter just by wearing it, and if the user was already strong, it would push their power even higher. Yet such a god-tier item had no effect on him at all. The reason was simple: because he was weaker than an average person. So weak that he couldn't even meet the mask's basic activation requirement. But not long ago he had no idea, and thought the item he wanted was just a normal disguise mask, because he was willing to spend hundreds of millions to buy it. Plus his hollow reputation as the strongest hunter, the mask was hyped into the strongest artifact, and was placed as the final item at the auction. This completely screwed him over, but even so he still wanted it, because disguise masks were impossible to find on the market. In the end he borrowed 950 million from Siddeley, which was basically all his assets. But plans never go as expected. During the auction, Jack originally planned not to bid on anything, but a golem appearing on stage ruined his plan. This was the void core Siddeley had always wanted, but after the previous incident she never got it back, which had always been a regret for her. Seeing her like this was rare, and it made Jack feel bad for her, so he changed his mind and decided to buy the void core first. After all, it was Siddeley's money to begin with. Even so, this still deeply moved Siddeley, but just as Jack was about to bid, the price had already reached 990 million, which was far beyond his budget. Siddeley also thought it was impossible now, but when the auctioneer announced the winning bid of 1.06 billion, and the buyer turned out to be Jack, both Siddeley and Liz were confused. They couldn't figure out where Jack got the money. What they didn't know was that the extra 110 million came from Lucia's savings Jack had secretly kept. Because of this unexpected situation he lost interest in staying, since he clearly had no money left for the mask. As expected, the final buyer of the mask was Ike. When Jack learned Ike got it for 200 million, he first felt regret, but then suddenly remembered. Ike said he planned to give the mask to Ark, which gave Jack a new idea. As long as Ark got the artifact, Jack could buy it back at a friendship price. The next day Jack went to find Ark, telling him to go see Ike and he would understand naturally. To outsiders this sounded confusing, but Ark was already used to Jack's way of talking. He only cared whether it was dangerous and if he should bring weapons. At the same time, Ike was full of worry, because after buying the mask, she was harshly scolded by her father. The reason was that Jack had left the auction early, clearly showing he never intended to compete, which meant they wasted 200 million for nothing. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. While Ike was feeling miserable, the mask suddenly spoke, saying it could give her the power to get revenge. But this creepy scene only scared Ike, and only then did she remember. Jack seemed to have said the artifact was dangerous. Turns out he was right, but it was already too late to regret. At the same time, Ark had just arrived at Ike's house, when a loud crash suddenly came from upstairs. He immediately rushed over with his men, but what he saw shocked him. Ike, who had never trained before, now had abnormal strength, and was extremely violent. Seeing the mask on her face, Ark immediately understood the cause, but as a real level 7, he didn't take it too seriously, and walked straight up to Ike. After calming her down and saying everything was fine, he asked her to hand over the mask. Seeing the person she liked appear, Ike was about to regain her senses, but suddenly she noticed Ark was armed. And by the time she realized what that meant, it was too late. Her emotions exploded again, with the fight unavoidable. Ark had no choice but to subdue her by force. Even though Ike's power had increased a lot, the gap between them was still too large. It only made Ark work a bit harder. After returning, he immediately went to find Jack, planning to ask what was going on with the mask, but to his shock Jack just took it and put it on. And compared to everyone else's reaction, the most shocked one was actually the mask itself.